In this video, I'm going to passionately talk about why the CrossFit Games, which is aired right there right now, is so exciting and cool. Now, some people, when they hear CrossFit and I talk to them, immediately they cut me off and they shit on how bad it is in many ways. Oh, kipping pull-ups, this and that, and they don't let me say a word. Whatever, let them be. That's not for them. In this video, I can passionately talk about the CrossFit Games and how interesting they are compared to other sports. We'll cover a few big things. First, almost every other sport has very rigid rules, and the contestants already know, the athletes, they know what is going to happen before they compete. If it's a sprint, you know how long you're sprinting for, and you train for that year round. If it's a weightlifting event or swimming event, you know exactly how long you're going to swim, what style, and you practice. With the CrossFit Games, you don't know. The movements are delivered the day of the event or maybe the night before. And every year they keep adding new crazy things. It's literally a decathlon on steroids. Figuratively, not literally. And what I mean by that is a decathlon may have 10 different activities, so there's a lot more variance, but it's still kind of like, you can still plan it out. With the CrossFit Games, yes, you can still kind of plan it out, but really, you can prepare, but you really just need to be so fit that you consistently win year over year, no matter what they throw at you. And they throw some really wacky stuff. As the years progressed, they threw out some crazy stuff. One event, you had to take a giant, I think it was a rubber hammer, and smash a giant concrete block between your legs throughout, like almost the size of a, football field, maybe half the size of a football field. And then they've added swimming events. They've added cycling events where you have to pick up the bicycle and then step over some hay and then keep racing. And so, it started as mostly weightlifting, tons of weightlifting, and then cardiovascularly intense sprinting, and then endurance and marathons. And they still have a ton of that, but they've added so much other stuff that it is bonkers. And surprisingly, there are some clear standouts that still win consistently year after year, which is incredibly impressive. They put in a lot of work. T. Claire Toomey, who I met in person briefly, that was cool. Matt Frazier, Rich Froning, and it's insane. These events are whack. They're wacky in the coolest way possible. Certain things like sprinting are cool, but you don't ever know what they're gonna throw in. It might be anything from a half marathon race to then, swimming, Olympic-sized swimming pools, to sprinting, a 30-second sprint, 5-second sprint, 10-second sprint. And you really lose points if you fall behind the pack in one of these activities. So you have to be incredibly well-rounded. And some of these all-stars, these top athletes, like Matt Frazier, he was winning, but there were deficiencies. Like, he sucked at sprinting. And then the next year, he came back and he just annihilated everyone in sprinting and was first place by a mile. Not really, literally a mile, but by a lot. And he was super pumped. The crowd was going crazy because of the story behind that. He literally knew it was one of his big weaknesses. And not only did he cover his weakness after a year of training, intense training, but he was number one by far. So he made his weakness into his strength. Incredible. There's some crazy events. I was watching it while I was working out. Unfortunately, they're on some type of commentary or interview cycle now. But let me see if I can kind of narrate what we're seeing here. So, they have volunteer judges. It's it's a massive event, so they can't pay all these judges. They have to have judges for like hundreds of athletes. And there's the organizer, and he's like kind of explaining the movements. There's Rich Froning. This is like an old year. This is like 2014. And there's Matt Frazier over there. But point is, like, there's crazy events. There's handstand push-ups, you know, as many kipping pull-ups you can do. There's infinite like things that they're competing against, sprinting, and then obviously a lot of CrossFit style workouts. Maybe you have to do like 50 clean and jerks, and then 100 handstand push-ups for 10 sets. Whoever finishes that first within the standards that the judges are screening you for, they win. So it's a wacky event. I encourage you to watch some of the latest years. They are super fun.